It's my Ed with Jeff. Seriously, it's my Ed with Jeff. Oh, okay, why isn't it taking a picture? Oh, it's taking a video. An introduction to setting up assignments. Welcome back. So we've created our categories that are shared between our three or two current new media classes. So now we're going to move into the realm of assignments. And um, this is where things start to get really useful and interesting in MyEdC. Okay, so I'm in one of the two new media blocks that I have this quarter. I can't remember which one, so just double check here. So yeah, okay, let's go. We're into A block, quarter 4. And we're going to go to the assignments side tab. Okay? There's our categories side tab, and there's our assignments side tab. And we have nothing in assignments right now, so we have to start our first assignment. So here we go. We're going to add an assignment. You'll see there are other options in here. Add multiple assignments, add ungraded assignments, import assignments. Basically, if you had New Media 11 last quarter, you could import assignments from that class. Okay. If you wanted to add an ungraded assignment, one that doesn't fit into your categories, you can do that as well. All right, but we're just going to focus right now on adding assignments, and we'll worry about the weighting of them as we go. So let's click on Add Assignment. And the first thing that it wants to know, let's look at the structure of this page a little bit. So the first thing is you have 3 tabs here. You have the General tab, the Portal description, and the Students. So in your New Media 11 class, this is just for the one that you are listed in. You have this list of students, and let's say that you know Julian Meeks here is going to be away, or is doing an alternate form of assignment. You can exclude that student just by clicking on that list there. And then you can re-include them in there. So it's kind of like the exclude button on in Sims to keep students from having that assignment show up as a missing assignment. In the portal description, you'll see you've got a fairly large um, descriptor here where you could cut and paste in the your assignment, and you can also put any details in there that you want. But this is all general stuff about the assignment. Okay? And then we're back to the General tab. We're going to go here, and first thing we need to do is we need to put it in a category. So there's our 4 categories. You don't have to search it every time if you want to just type in your um, first thing, but I'm going to go with research for my first one, and I'm going to call it just give it a name of week 1. So and then you just give it a name, research on media week 1. Now here's your date assigned and date due. So let's say that we are assigning it today and we want it done by the end of the week. Okay, well, let's go with next week. So we're going to say that it is due on the 14th. And how many points is this worth? This is worth, we're going to say 15 points going to be giving 15 points a week. And it says also add this assignment to classes. So basically you're putting it in both classes. Now you can opt out here. If you find that A block is doing something different than B block, you could opt out. In addition to that portal description I talked about earlier, you also have the opportunity to add files to it. So you can go assignment upload and choose a file off your hard drive. So I'm going to put in a copy of the assignment here. So here we go. We got MyEd with Jeff. It doesn't have to be a picture. And you can put another file in there as well. So let's say we have well, let's say we have this training here, and you can upload that in there as well. Now down here at the bottom, you can also delete those. So if you change your mind, the Google Doc one is not really working right now. So let's just avoid that. I know we're all using Google Docs. I've been given the advice that we don't have our Google account linked at this point, but it's certainly something that we can do after. And if you have a website, you can also add in a web link. Okay, there's one way that you could link your Google Docs there from that. My resources, honestly, y'all have no idea. Okay. Over here, you have some options. So extra credit points, the sequence number. Okay. If you feel like you're going to be entering things in the wrong order, you can always go back after and make this give this a sequence number so that your assignments appear in order. The visibility type, okay? So whether you want this assignment to show up to kids in particular, and then parents, once the parents have a MyEd parent portal set up, whether you want it to be private so nobody sees it just yet, and whether you want to make it public but not tell parents or kids what their grades are yet. Okay, so you're kind of holding back the information. So you know that the assignment is due, but you don't want to publish the grades yet because you're marking them as they come in. Okay. So I'm just going to make those public. And then your grade scale. So the grade scale is going to be your default scale. You don't have to put anything in there. And in here, if you have more than one term, then you would have to select what that term is. Okay. You have the chance to exclude it from averages. And then this interesting one of recurring options, daily, weekly, and monthly. Again, not something that I've spent a lot of time on, but certainly possible. Okay. And in that portal description, you still have access to all those things, but you could type some things in here as well. All right, so we're going to press save on this one. You can enter things as save and new if you want, but we're just going to press save. And you'll see it's saved now. It didn't close the page. There we go. So it's given me that confirmation that it's saved. It's important to follow that through and make sure. And let's go look at our scores page. So again, we're a little bit familiar with this page from entering our term marks. Okay, but now we have the option to look at our grade book in terms of the categories, okay, as well as an all. So if you put in all, you'll see you have the option to enter the grade for week 1 in the research column. You can also break it down and just look at the research grades, so you can enter marks by category. And obviously we don't have any assignments in the other categories as yet. And the other thing that you can do is you can click on a student's name and then you get their whole line on here as well. The comment bubble that's right next to this name, okay, and that is whether you're in single student mode or all. So let's say I give Nikhil did her assignment and it was 13 out of 15. I can click on that comment and I can give feedback to the student right in here. So great job, Nikhil. I love the way you tacked the headlines. Newspaper as misogynistic. Wow, good job. Yep, I think I spelled it right. Remember to complete your source list. Consult your MLA cheat sheet. Okay. So you can leave assignment feedback right here in MyEd, and the student will have access to that as long as you've made that comment that made the assignment public. Okay. Over here in settings, you have a chance to go back to that assignment preference or preferences tab up here, and you can change that gradebook tab direction here, right here from there. So you can go and switch it over to down if you didn't set your preferences. And you can look at a few different things in here. Add to all linked classes by default, for example. We are not showing a missing column right now, and so we want to do that. And then averages, break that down with just one extra. So you can change your grade scale from here as well. So I've just changed that, and you'll notice our missing list will show up here. It's not showing all these guys as missing, all these people as missing their assignment, just because they're not, the due date hasn't happened yet. But it's also calculated this out to 86.7. Not that, I mean, anyway. So let's just add some marks here. And now that I've changed the behavior of my tab key, I can just tab down. So these folks didn't do very well. I should have made it out of 10 for ease of demonstration here. Let's give some higher marks. Whoops. Okay, so I goofed up there and I entered something outside the range. It won't let you give extra marks. And thank goodness for that. Right, so we're going to give them a 15 and 15 and oops, 12 and 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay, so you can see we've fully populated this list and given marks to people. And then if we go back and look at our category all, you'll see we have our goes across this way, and this would be their term grade. Remember in a previous video, I showed you a mature grade book, one that had been filled out all the way across. Now, if you go to post columns term, you'll see that quarter grade is not showing up as yet. And that's because we haven't updated that post column. So if we click on update post columns and then we select the term, okay, we can take the average from what we've created so far and have it show up as our quarter one grade. So just click that. It says term mark, do not update. So we're going to go average cumulative, and we're going to not update the final grade at this point. And then we're ready to finish it up. Let's just give it a second to work. And you'll see my quarter one grade has been imported from the gradebook right away. So that's how you set up your assignments. And by the way, if we go to the other new media class, so Block B's class, and we look at the scores page, we've imported that assignment into here. So you can see that that week one assignment is showing up in Block B's class as well. So with one simple click, we've done all the assignments that we have for New Media 11 has been populated in both sections. And then you can go on to create more assignments as you go. I bet you're wondering why this video is so long and the other ones were shorter. I don't know, so I thought I'd put an intermission. And now it's time to learn about importing assignments from other blocks. In this section of the video, I have quickly switched back to my calculus alter ego, so don't be confused. Okay, so maybe not the best example. Here's my mature grade book in Calculus 12 that I showed you before with all these assignments going across. There's quite a few of them. But what I will do is I will go to another course. Pre-Calc 12 and Calc 12 have to be pretty much the same, right? It's a math thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up Pre-Calc 12, and we're going to import the categories from Calculus 12. There we go. So we're just going to import those categories, and we'll just category import all categories. And we've done it. So those are now in there. And then we're going to go to assignments. Now we have no assignments in Pre-Calc 12 either. So we're going to go to import assignments. And again, search in Calculus 12. And you'll see in a second, if I say all assignments, here it will bring in 11. I can also go to a list of all the assignments and choose which ones to bring over. And I can break those down just by category and bring in all the inquiry ones, for example. So if I had a set of inquiry ones that would go across grades, this would be really useful if I wanted to bring in all the assignments, because all of my classes do inquiry. They all check in and report at the same times or at similar times. And so here I go. I can just select one of those. All right. So I'm just going to bring in all of those assignments, though, just for the purpose of demonstration. And here they come. So these are all input now, and they are showing over here with their category default weights, their category weights, and now when I go to the scores page and look at all, you'll see that all of those assignments are there and ready to be populated with marks. And just because I flashed to that post columns term page is set up because we imported somebody's pre-calc 12 marks into the test environment. Good job, Braden Lee. So that's why they're showing up as completed. But because we didn't use the gradebook for that class, or it didn't come over with that particular teacher's class, it's the assignments category is actually empty, so we can play with it. Again, this is the practice environment, not the real MyEdBC. So I'm not changing anybody's gradebook. Here's an interesting thing. Here's our missing column that we set up, and it's showing us having 11 assignments missing. Okay, so that's sort of what that function does when you set it to have a missing column and to count empty rows as missing. Okay, I believe the due dates of all those assignments would be on May 4th, so that's why they're showing up as missing. Okay, I know that was a lot. This is a long video. Again, I'm more than willing to sit down with anybody by Zoom or any group of teachers by Zoom to collaborate on this. You can also message me on our Teams chat function to ask any questions that you have. And I hope this is helping. Please give me any feedback too on what I can do to make these videos more usable for you. But is it still on? Okay. Okay. Why isn't it taking a picture? Oh, it's taking a video.